Nope, not funny. Not funny. Man, we really got to talk to Dave about writing some actually funny stuff, you know?
Yeah, sure. How long are we leaving that rat there for?
What's that, Johannes?
How long are we leaving that rat there? Because it's stinking up the place, and we got Brad Williams coming in a second.
What rat? Oh my God, there's a rat there? Yeah. Nah. No, Johannes, I put this rat here and I killed it myself and hung it so all the other rats can see what's in store for them. And since I've done that, have we had a rat infestation?
No.
No, we have not, have we?
Nope.
That's why I also spent all that money on this life-size Johannes scarecrow to let all the other producers know what's in store for them. Hey, Johannes, you been taking Ozempic? Burp. Oh, let me take an Ozempic. Bye, Phil. Burp.
He's in the guest chair. It's not, whatever.
Roll the credits. It's too funny. Roll the credits. Oh, there he is. Brad.
How are you, sir?
Good to see you.
Good to see you, my friend.
Have a seat in your throne.
I love this. I don't know. Dwarves and Thrones kind of like, I know we didn't win the Game of Thrones, but this feels like I should have.
Guess what, Brad?
Yes, sir.
You won the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, darn right I did, because I'm here.
Suck it, Pete Dink.
we call him Dink at the meetings.
You call him Dink?
Yeah. We're still kind of mad at him about the whole Snow White thing.
Yeah, what did he do with that? What happened there? Talk to me about it, Brad.
Peter Dinklage went on the Mark Maron podcast when it was announced that they were doing the live action Snow White and said, "Oh, we're still doing that Snow White dwarf thing." That's my Dinklage.
Oh, but hold on, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Now, do you do any impressions?
I mean, I only do one, Brad, and it's not very good.
I imagine it's great.
No, I won't do it. Don't ask me to do my Fred Durst impression.
You do a Fred Durst impression?
Yeah.
Money.
Okay, yeah.
That spot on. Wait.
And Brad knows impressions because he just did a spot on Peter Dinklage,
yes.
Johannes.
You know, it's a good one, but it's just, we've heard it.
Wait, I'm going to close my eyes.
Okay.
Do that again.
Okay.
Do that again.
Yeah.
It's like he's in the room.
I mean, Fred, and he is in the room. He's in all of us. And he's in each one of you, deep inside.
Absolutely.
There's a little Fred ready to come out.
Absolutely.
So Pete Dinklage, he goes on Maron.
Yes.
And Maron's like, WTF. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then Dinklage says that we're still doing that whole Snow White thing. Disney panics, takes the dwarves out of the live action Snow White, replaces them with Snow White and the Seven Magical Beings, which looks like a drum circle at Chico State. People get angry about that, so then they say, all right, we'll bring the dwarves back. Then they bring them back as CGI, not actual little people. So I'm a dwarf actor.
Yes.
I'm in movies. I'm in the upcoming Spinal Tap 2. And
wait.
Yeah.
Did we get an exclusive? Johannes, are you rolling? Which, by the way, we don't roll and we may never roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I'll just, if you want a clip, all you have to do is just yell at Johannes and just say, clip it. And I think it becomes a clip. I think that's how it works.
No, that's not how it works.
Okay, so just yell at you, clip it?
That's right.
No.
Okay.
Try it. Give it a try. It feels good.
So when I'm doing, we're still doing that whole Snow White, the Seven Dwarfs thing. Clip it.
Clip it.
Like that? So
and that's a clip.
That'll be a clip?
That's a hell of a clip.
That'll go viral.
In the bag.
Love it.
I'll have to edit it, but yeah, it could be a
Okay,
clip for sure.
so do you feel like that, though, was that Dink's fault, or do you think that was Disney's fault?
Well, because I would like to work for them, they own everything. I'm gonna blame everything on Dinklage in that thing. Disney, I absolve you of all wrongdoing, and I think you're a wonderful company. Please pay me.
Yeah, and I too. I'm a big fan of your rat, and I love the whole company. Catch right now on Disney Plus, right, Johannes?
No.
All right.
Clip it for Disney Plus.
Clip it, Disney Plus.
Yes. Make sure there's no swear words in it. You know, 'cause they don't like
that's
that
very
stuff.
interesting to me, though, Brad, because I feel like what happens is a lot of times people who are not a part of a certain community.
Sure.
I know being a goblin, everyone's always trying to put stuff on me.
Yep.
That aren't a part of a certain community feel like they know
Yes.
what the people in that community will be offended by or not.
Yes.
And what ends up happening is they overcompensate and it ends up screwing that minority community.
I think you should start writing for the New Yorker because that's a very deep thought, my friend. Well done.
All right, well then that's the show. Okay, it's not going to get any better than that, Brad. Trust me, pal.
I love it, man.
But
I
do you
just
find
love
that that's what happens?
Yes, I feel oftentimes people get enraged on behalf of a community, but they don't ever check in with the community and say, well, hey, what do you guys think about that?
Well, hey, what do you guys think about that?
Well, I would have liked to have been in the movie. I think a lot of dwarf actors would have liked to have been in the movie and not have been CGI'd. I don't see any other group where they would have done that kind of thing, like if they were doing something that called for amputees, would they just like, well, let's just CGI an amputee,
right?
Let's not actually have a actual actor. Let's just animate one. You know what I mean? Or any other goblins. If there was a Goblin movie, if there was another Spider-Man, if they redid Spider-Man again, and the Green Goblin was in it, you're green, you're a goblin, you'd want to play the Goblin, right?
Well, in my chat,
yeah,
we're a little peeved at Defoe, as we call him.
Sure.
He's our foe. We call him because he's taking all our roles.
Exactly. And that's a little enraging.
Yes.
I could see that. See, this is how it should have always been. Dwarves and goblins coming together.
That's right.
I think that we've been against each other for so long. And
for centuries.
Yeah. In the whole, I don't know, are you guys related to orcs? Are they like a distant cousin? What's the orc relation?
I mean, it's very distant. It's like the way you guys are related to dolphins. You know what I mean? It's like you're mammals, sure, but you know what I mean? You don't got a bullhole, Well, at least it's on the other end.
When you said you guys, I wasn't sure if it was humans or dwarves.
Humans. Because Brad,
yes,
on this show, I will not put you in that box.
I love that, man.
I will not put you in that box.
I appreciate that.
You have your own box.
I do.
He's an actor.
Yes, sir.
Comedian.
Yes, sir.
And a absolute shooting star right now. You're on a friggin' rocket ship. I see you selling out theaters. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Brad Williams.
Hey, happy to be here. Happy to put the whole goblin dwarf beef to bed.
It ends today.
Our people are getting along, and it's no longer Lord of the Rings.
That's right.
I'm not attacking you with a battle axe.
No.
I come in peace.
So do I.
And then we are very popular Halloween costumes coming together for good.
That's right. That's got to stop. I mean, that part.
Hey, my culture is not your costume.
Isn't that what I always say around Halloween?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, Disney, big fans. Party City?
Mm-hmm.
F off, man. We're coming for you. We're coming for you today. We ain't going to get no Party City in this city.
Yes. You and I have a lot in common in that way.
Absolutely.
People come and take photos with me after shows. I do a free meet and greet. Sometimes when they take the photo with me, they throw their shoes down on the ground and they put their knees on the shoes. So hey, I'm coming down to your level. I'm being a dwarf just like you. Do you get that when people take a photo with you? Do they try to put some bugles on their hands so they have longer fingernails or anything?
No, but that'd be kind of fun. I do kind of like the bugle thing.
I like the bugle fingers.
I got a bunch of dang bugles on my hands. I can't believe. When you were saying that, I was thinking, oh my God.
Yeah.
People put their shoes.
Yeah.
I don't like that. There's some people who kind of do a hump, and there have been people who come to the show wearing green face, but I feel like their heart is in the right place.
Yes, they're trying to do a tribute.
I love you.
Yes.
I want to be a goblin. I want to be green, and I'm fine with that.
Yes.
But sometimes people come to the show and they'll be like, I don't know the password when you're under the bridge. I'm like, that's trolls. You're speaking of trolls.
That's a different thing. Goblins, trolls, orcs.
Yeah.
Different.
Or they'll hunch over and they'll talk about my hump and they'll try and do stuff like that. They'll talk about my teeth or, I don't even want to name their names, but there's two comedians who are, let's just say they're not good friends. What's another word for not good friends?
Like
Opposite of good?
Yeah, if they were
Bad
bad
friends?
friends, you would say.
Yeah,
okay.
they had me on their Halloween episode.
Oh.
So they could be like, whoa, what is this, Slimer? Oh, what's this? And my culture was just a big part of their comedy.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So now are you firing back against once again, we're being hypothetical.
Sure.
We're not talking about any specific kind
Yeah.
of comedians.
Absolutely.
But are you like firing back at like the ginger community because of that?
You know what? I'm not going to do that, Brad.
See, you're
I'm
a classy
I'm
man.
not going to do that.
You're a classy goblin.
Because I know how it feels.
Exactly.
I know how it feels. And sometimes it doesn't feel good.
Yes.
So,
You're not going to go after middle-aged Korean men?
I wouldn't say middle age. I was going to say senior citizen career. Senior citizen
Yes.
Korean women.
Yes, you're not
Yeah.
going to go after them.
No, I will not go after them. Never.
You're a classy goblin.
Thank you so
You're
much.
You're
I'm
a
not
good
going to
goblin.
stoop down to that level.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I will.
Yeah, good.
I'm
Brad.
at that level
Good,
usually.
Brad. I like that. Get him. We're going to get there. I got a fun little game for us to go get him.
Can't wait.
Yes, but here's the thing. I'm wondering when something like that happens.
Yeah.
You just did a show.
Yeah.
You've been building material. You've been doing stand-up for years and years and years and years. You're finally at a place now where you're like, people are doing meet and greets. They want to meet you, and then someone does something like that.
Yeah.
How do you handle that in that situation?
Well, in that particular situation, usually the meet and greet line's pretty long. I just kind of say, all right, cool, and I take the photo because I got an hour and a half
Sure, yeah,
worth
yeah.
of people to
Yeah.
get through. The only thing I don't let people do, and the only thing there's two things I do not let people do. I don't let people use my head as an armrest.
Wow.
I don't do that. If you put your arm on my head to take the photo, I will send it off, and then I do not let anyone pick me up. That's something that people ask a lot. They try to pick me up.
Well, right now,
Yeah.
I want everyone to watch this who's going to see Brad Williams because now you're part of the Gobtourage. Okay,
Love it.
Goblin Army's going to come out to see your shows.
Love it.
But what they're not going to do,
Yep.
don't you put your hand on his head, and don't you dare pick him up.
I love that.
Okay, I feel like you know what you need.
Yeah.
You need like not a bodyguard, but you need someone you've hired who's like, oh, you know what? You know how there's the UFC started a little spin-off. It's like slap fights.
Yeah. Slap fights. Yeah.
You just need to find the best slapper.
Ooh.
And they just stand like this next to you. And then you're like, come on, sir.
They're just lock cocked,
Yeah,
ready to go.
And they just go, come on, take the picture.
Yeah.
And what would you like to do? And the guy's like, oh, well, actually, I thought it'd be kind of funny. Listen to this original idea. What if? Hear me out. And he does this. And then all of a sudden,
Unload.
you just snap. And the
Yeah.
guy just goes, wow.
Yes.
And then they fly off. And then you're
I
like,
love
next.
it. I love
Next.
it.
Yeah, someone picks you up, slap, they drop you, bam, bye-bye.
I think this is a fantastic idea for all the Goblin community that's gonna come out to the shows.
Yes.
we will be holding tryouts.
Yeah, okay, all right.
We'll be holding tryouts. We'll have you slap like the Rocky movies, like a big slab of meat.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
Yeah, that's
let's
how they,
see if
that's
you
how
can
they
get
train.
Yes.
They're just slapping ham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Okay, no, I'm into this, Brad. I'm really into this.
I am too. Thank you for protecting me, Goblin.
Yeah, I mean, or just hire me, and I'll just, you know what I mean?
Ooh, okay. I like
I'll
that.
take the bugles out.
I
I'll stick my
love
little
it.
bugles in there.
I love it. That and then now, have you experienced this, Goblin? Because there are some people out there that actually have a fear of little people. It's called achondrophobia. They actually have a fear of little people.
What?
So like, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what happened, but like some people actually have a fear. Does anyone have a fear of goblins? Like as you're walking, like you're just going to Trader Joe's.
I love Trader Joe's.
Yeah, of course.
I love Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
It does happen to me quite often. In fact, I've had a few podcast guests who have sat in the throne.
Yeah.
And I could tell they're a little scared. I mean, at some point, Lisa Gilroy asked if I sleep under people's beds and come out during their nightmares.
No, in the closet like a
Yeah,
gentleman.
thank you.
Jeez, I know.
and I'm paying rent. And
Yeah.
I'm paying rent, Brad.
Exactly. You're
like,
not a squatter.
I live here now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not squatting.
No, you're fine.
But I've experienced it. So have you ever come across anyone that has this phobia? I never even heard of this.
Oh yeah, many people. Because what's a fun prank for a lot of people to do is find out that one of their friends has the phobia, and then they bring them to my show, and don't tell them that they're seeing a little person comedian. So then sometimes during a show, I'll just walk out on stage during my intro and just kind of wave to the audience. Then somewhere you just hear like a, oh my God, you just hear something like that. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, that's happening now.
Wow. Or maybe they're just a huge fan. Maybe they're starstruck.
Hoping.
Maybe you're walking out on
that's the
stage,
thing.
walking out and they're just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And there's like, that's my favorite comedian. Maybe they're sharing that part of their breath.
Now, for the positive side of things,
yes,
I've cured a lot of people of the phobia because I do the aforementioned meet and greets after the show, and sometimes the phobia people, they have watched the entire show and then they come through the meet and greet and they give me a hug at the end and they say thank you. They say thank you because now they're not afraid anymore. It's great.
Yeah, I can't imagine meeting you, Brad Williams.
Yeah,
and then like being afraid. Like,
I
want to be your best friend.
Yeah, I don't get the fear thing. If you don't like little people, you jump on a chair like a mouse. I can't get to you. Like it's very easy to you do that move right there. And that keeps me away.
Yeah.
So I don't understand the fear. I really don't. And that's why I'm out there doing stand up, appearing on podcasts like this, so people can get more exposed to little people. A little exposure therapy.
Right. And I just tell people this all the time. If you're afraid of me, a goblin, all you have to say is John, what are you really afraid of deep down inside? Oh. And then I'll begin to think about my childhood and how I didn't really know my real father or mother, and it will absolutely break me. And I'll just stop dead in my tracks.
I'm so sorry, John.
But
John,
won't say anything else.
Look at what you've done. Look at what you've done despite that.
That's right.
You have a successful podcast.
The #1 comedy podcast in the world.
No.
Right? #1?
No.
Clip it. #1.
Clip it.
Yeah.
Clip
#1
it.
podcast in the world. He said it. It must be true.
It's absolutely true.
Yeah. Certainly. So, like, this is what you've done. And you have succeeded.
And look at us.
Yeah, right?
Because here's the thing. I love when I've been following a comedian for a while. I've been following your career for a while. And I love when I start to, I can spot it. When you're like, oh, that's a little bit of a rocket ship headed there. There it is.
Yep.
And all of a sudden I see your pictures, theaters now.
Yeah.
What has that jump been like? Going from just grinding, doing club after club after club. And now you have like, what is it, 2 openers? You're sitting in the green room, listening to the crowd work. There's a balcony.
Right.
You walk out on stage, they say your name, and everybody is there to see Brad.
That is a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, I love comedy clubs. I cut my teeth in comedy clubs. I'll probably be back in comedy clubs someday. But for now, the theaters are really nice, John.
Yeah.
Theaters are really nice. Like you said, everyone's there to see you. No one's distracted by mozzarella sticks.
Oh, I never thought of that. Yeah, they don't serve food in a theater.
Yeah, they serve drinks. So you get your drink in the lobby, and then you sit down in a chair where you're facing forward. You're not facing to the side at a table where you're distracted by nachos, where I say a joke and then you turn to the group and go, oh my God, Sharon, he's talking about you. He's talking about you, Sharon.
There's probably not like a bachelorette party that stumbled in and they're just kind of like, where are we? We just...
God.
Yeah,
if I never have another bachelorette party at my show, I will die a happy man.
I never thought of that before, though. But the big difference probably, except the amount of people...
Sure.
Is that the people coming to a theater are like, they've all signed up to see a show.
Yes.
They're like, they're ready for a show. They're sitting in darkness. Yes. They're next to a bunch of other people, and everyone's on the same wavelength.
Paid for a ticket, maybe paid for a babysitter.
Yes.
They this is their night out. It's not like you're walking by the comedy club and then you just saw the movie, or you're stumbling out of the bar and you go, oh, the show starts in 5 minutes. Let's go see the show.
Yeah.
And then you go to the show, and then you're drunk as heck and you start yelling at the comedian because you think that's part of comedy for some weird reason. Thanks, Matt Rife. But I love Matt.
We got another text chain.
I love Matt. We
got another text chain. Okay. We call him Right. or wrong. Right or wrong? I don't know. We'll get it. Don't clip it.
We're still
Don't clip it.
Don't clip that one.
Don't clip it.
We're still spitballing
Cut
that.
it.
Yes,
All right.
yes. But you know, some people think that's part of comedy now. But then in the theater, oh, everyone's excited. Everyone's ready to go. You have lights that are going crazy like I'm a damn rock star. It's weird to look at the theaters that I'm playing and then see who else is playing those theaters, because you'll see things like, wow, Night Ranger is going to be here next week. This is incredible.
Yes.
I'm playing the same venue as Night Ranger.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. And so I just started performing in comedy clubs, Brad.
Love
I'm
it.
doing comedy clubs. I'm very excited.
Love it.
But one of the things I struggle with is like, even on like small stages, because you know, I'm used to being a rock star and I just jump around the whole stage and just go crazy.
Sure.
And if I want, I could just jump in the audience if I want to at a
Good.
rock show.
Yeah.
But doing comedy, I'm always like, well, where do I look? How do I stand? How much time do I spend over here? How much time do I spend over here?
Yeah.
But they're like up there. They're like up there. They're like over there. They're like over there. They're like down there.
Yeah, I try to make it so where if you go see my show, interview every person that walks out of my show. Every person will say that I made eye contact with them at least one time during the show.
So that's something you consciously do.
Yes, I'm looking everywhere. I want to make sure you know that I'm acknowledging you. That it's probably my ADD kicking in, where I don't want to look one place for too long. But it's a lot of fun, and you have to be, and this is weird coming from a little person, but you have to be bigger on stage doing the theater.
That's right.
You have to be bigger, because you want the person in the back to get a great show just like someone in the front. So the movements have to be bigger, the facial expressions have to be bigger. But I'm excited that you're doing comedy clubs, man.
Yeah, I'm
This
starting
is
comedy
stoked.
clubs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, do you have to change the menu when you get to the comedy clubs? Because I'm not familiar with the Goblin diet. Forgive me.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
But do you order from the regular menu, or do they have to have like something different for you?
Oh, you mean like on my rider and stuff?
Yeah.
I'll put like some little things, just like, you know, some nice dry skin or something, just to kind of like, you know, wet the whistle.
Yeah, not too demanding.
No,
not like only green M&Ms or or only skin from one particular race or age group.
It's
just a little dry skin.
I like local.
Yeah.
I like local.
Farm
I'm
to
like,
table.
give me whatever the local skin is.
Yes.
I'll just nod that a little bit
Yes.
before I go on stage.
Good.
I like a light meal. And
Good.
then after the meal,
Yes.
you know what I mean? I'll make Johannes go out,
Yeah.
give me like a bunch of stuff, you know,
Yeah.
whatever the local cuisine is, you know.
Usually Chili's. That's what
What's
it is.
that?
What? I said usually Chili's.
Yeah, so whatever the local Chili's is,
Sure,
you know what I
fine.
mean? Like, but I like to see like, what kind of Chili's is in San Antonio? You know what I mean? I want to try the baby back ribs from San Antonio. I want to try
Always
the baby back ribs in Poughkeepsie. You know what I mean? Like, that's my kind of thing.
Okay, good.
And then,
Good.
you know, I'll eat 1 or 2 bottles of whatever the local booze is. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'll just, you
Yes.
know, all in one.
Oh,
or-
the whole bottle.
Yeah.
There's a glass and all.
Oh, that's the best part. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Because
okay.
it kind of it's like the booze kind of gets like stuck in the glass and it's
Oh,
kind
so
of
it, like,
little
holds
candy
in the
bits. Yeah, it's,
flavor.
it's really good.
Oh,
But-
I love that.
so that's what I'll usually do before a show or after a show.
Good.
But I love that you
Mm-hmm.
have made like a really conscious effort to like make everyone feel included and a part of your show.
Yes, sir.
At any point, though, do you get like distracted? Like or because I don't love to make eye contact. You know, I'm like looking over everybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, is you ever like scan the room and just someone's just like, I love you, Brad.
There's some people are making custom T-shirts.
Oh, I love that though.
Coming to the show.
That's gotta feel good.
I love that. That's great. Every now and then, someone may fall asleep. Don't like that, but you know.
I mean, hey, to be fair,
yeah.
when I get into theater, there's just something that happens, like physiologically. Like you put me in a dark theater in a seat that folds down with armrests, and all of a sudden I'm just like,
Yes.
I may never wake up.
And now the movie theaters are getting more and more comfortable because they want to enhance the experience. So they're like, oh, we'll bring you food. It's fully reclinable. We'll hand you a blanket. You know, a small Thai woman will massage your feet.
Yeah.
And that's pretty awesome.
And I'll tell you what, Brad,
Yeah. It's hard to stay awake.
it's a lot cheaper than paying rent. in Los Angeles. Life hack for everybody out there.
Yeah.
You just buy one movie ticket. Guess what? You bought your best night's sleep for that night.
That's right. And all you got to do is like find a movie like The Brutalist, which is like, 2.5 days long.
Yeah, that's right.
And you're just good.
I went and saw Kevin Costner's Last Sleeper.
Oh,
Western one.
The Western one.
Yeah, I was like, sign me up. I'm about to get some Z's.
2 parts. You're like, thank goodness.
I'm like, put them back to back.
Yeah, why not?
Cruise through this whole
Don't
thing.
even put an intermission.
Yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
go. I love that.
I love that too. Brad, I read
Yes.
that you are a Cali boy.
Yes.
You grew up in Fullerton, California.
Yeah. Orange County. Yeah.
Orange County.
Yeah.
Do you have siblings?
I do. I have a sister. One sister. She's older. She's an accountant. We don't like to talk about her. Boring. I'm the excited kid in the family.
Yes.
I'm the pride and joy, the star, the comedian.
That's right.
It's a lot of fun.
Where do you fall in the age range? Are you the middle child?
I'm the baby, so I got all the attention.
This checks out.
Yes.
Yeah, this checks out.
Yes, and that's how I always want it to be.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I also read you talked about this in one of your acts that out of your siblings, that no one else is a dwarf. Is that correct?
Correct. My parents are not little people.
Yes.
My sister, not a dwarf. We did a family history project. We couldn't find any other little people in the entire family.
And I was an only child. I grew up with a bunch of humans. So I kind of feel
your parents
similar.
Were your parents goblin?
Well, I assumed they were, but I was adopted by, just 2 old white folk.
Okay, okay. Hence the tie.
Yeah, so I wondered, like growing up with that, with like other siblings, like did you feel disconnect or were they like even more so protecting little bro?
My sister was not very protective.
Oh, okay. Let's shit on her. Yeah. Sure.
Because she didn't like me
You
getting...
fucking accountant?
Yeah, because she didn't like me getting all the attention. Even though she was the older sibling, she was constantly referred to as Brad's sister.
Okay.
And not the other way around.
Feel good.
Yeah. So she was not very protective. But the school was very protective. I had friends that were very protective, and great friends growing up. Many that I still have to this day, and really loved the community that I grew up in. But then there's also, I don't know if they have these for goblins, but there's organizations that like they're called LPA, Little People of America, where little people can like find other little people and get together and have like they have dwarf conventions where 1,000 little people show up to one hotel and they have events for them and stuff like that. It's awesome. They try to dress it up as like, hey, this is for people to come together and all that, but really it's just so dwarves can get together and bone.
It sounds like a little people fuckfest.
Yes, yeah. It is. It is.
Man, I wish there was a goblin version of that.
Oh my God, they don't have goblin conventions?
I don't think so.
You should start a goblin convention.
I'll tell you what always happens is everyone's like, oh, I know what your convention is. It's called Comic-Con. Oh, boy.
Good joke. Very original.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Everyone thinks I'm Yoda.
No, not Yoda.
I'm dyslexic, but I ain't that dumb,
He's a different species.
Very different.
Yeah.
No, he was totally normal before the drugs. This episode sponsored by SQUARESPACE. SQUARESPACE is the perfect place if you're looking to start a website or offer services. Do you want to offer courses or video workshops and tutorials? Then SQUARESPACE will help you organize your video libraries, and you'll be able to put everything behind a paywall so you can make that what, Johannes?
Green.
No, I was gonna say Goblin.
Goblin.
Gotta make that Goblin. Yup, just like me, the successful lead singer of the premier Goblin metal band Nekrogoblikon. So, if you want to offer services, then SQUARESPACE gives you everything you need to showcase your offerings. Your fully customizable website will be designed to attract clients and grow your business. You'll be able to streamline your workflow with built-in appointment scheduling and, Josh, there's like a thing sticking up if you want to work on that real quick.
Oh.
You'll also be able to send professional on-brand invoices and take online payments so you can get paid on time.
What was that?
You got it. You got it. Head on over to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code right now to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. I mean, it's literally the best deal in podcasting. You're a dad.
Yeah, I'm a dad.
Congratulations.
I reproduced.
More like Dad Williams.
Yeah,
right?
look at that.
All right.
Love it.
Clip it. So, Dad Williams. So,
Yeah.
what has that experience been like? Because you're on the road a lot.
Yeah. Thank goodness for technology and things like FaceTime.
Yep.
So I can be there and still say goodnight to her. And when I'm home, I try to make the most out of being home. And I like to do a lot of fun things with her. A couple weeks ago, we went on a Disney cruise. I took her on a Disney cruise, which was great. But as a dwarf and as two dwarves, really impossible to convince anyone we didn't work on the cruise. Everyone just kind of assumed. They're like, what time's the show? And I'm like, there's not a show. They're like, aren't you in entertainment? I'm like, kinda,
Yes,
but not here.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So that was very
You're like,
interesting.
I'm actually a comedian. They're like, I bet you are anyways. And
Yeah.
so tell me the joke of when your show is with Snow White. And you're like, listen, asshole.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, the only show that happens with me and Snow White is when me and my wife role play. And
That's it.
Delightful.
I bet that is. Here's what I wondered, Brad.
Okay.
I see this term a lot. Everyone's using it. People have called me this. They certainly never called my ghostwriter Dave this, but they call him Short King. You hearing a lot of that?
Yeah.
What's your vibe on Short King?
Short King, not a huge fan of it. To me, it's kind of condescending. Also, I get lumped in with the guys that are like, I don't know, how tall are you, Goblin?
I'm like half of a door frame.
Half of a door frame.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because you're a goblin.
Yeah.
Your race of people typically smaller, right?
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the hump. I mean, we can't stand up straight at all.
Yeah, exactly. I have dwarfism, which is a condition, but then you have these guys out there that are like 5'3", just acting like they're I'm one of you. No, you're not.
Okay.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You can ride any roller coaster. You can rent a car. You are not. You're not going through the same struggles.
All right. I'm excited you brought this up because
Yes.
I created a little game.
Oh, fantastic.
Where we're going to go through
Okay.
what the internet has deemed the Short Kings.
Ooh.
Little segment I'm calling Short King or Short Zing.
I
Because
like it.
We're going to say
I like it.
if these people are worthy or
Okay.
if they're not and they're just some of these like shorter stature people,
Yeah.
we're going to roast them.
I love it.
We're going to get to the bottom of this.
Let's go.
Johannes, who is our first celebrity? And let's talk about him. Okay.
The bear?
Jeremy Allen White.
How tall is he?
5'7", which means he's 5'5".
Exactly.
I know that.
Yes.
I know how Hollywood works.
Yes.
Every time I see an actor's height, I'm like, okay, says he's 5'7", which means he's 5'6", which means he's 5'5".
Exactly. Because
So-
no man ever says, whenever you ask a guy, hey, how tall are you? No one says 5'11".
Nope.
No one. It'll never happen. It's
Nope.
like, oh, I'm 6 feet tall.
That's a height that does not exist in our world.
Apparently. Because I've never met a guy that says, oh, yeah, 5'11".
Yeah.
Never happens. Okay.
Same thing with like 5'4", 5'5". I've never heard anyone say, I'm 5'4". You always hear, I'm 5'6".
Yes.
And you're like, sure. With cowboy boots on?
Yes.
Sure.
Exactly.
I am 6 feet for sure, but
So he's 5'11".
I bumped
Yeah,
into
that's a
him.
5'11" guy right there.
Okay,
No.
so
We
we've met
found
a
him.
5'11"
We
guy.
found him.
Yes.
I'm 6 feet even.
So-
And I did bump into him at a farmer's market because I'm hipster like that. And I'd say he's about 5'6", 5'5", maybe.
So he came in, since you're 5'11", he
No.
he came in about 4 inches
Yeah.
below you.
Okay.
I would say
Four-
so.
4 or 5 inches below you.
Well,
Because
yeah.
you're 5'11",
6.
and he's 5'7". You think he is?
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 inches below.
Yeah.
Great.
So is this a short king?
This is not a short.
This is
king.
not a short king. First off,
this is a short zig.
yeah, this is a short thing. Thank
Yes.
you. This guy, first off, every time I look at him, I'm just like, first, I can't believe they did not cast this guy as Willy Wonka. I mean, he looks like Gene Wilder.
I think he does.
Which, by the way, everyone's thirsting over this guy.
Yeah.
Do you think Gene Wilder got that kind of love back in the day? Poor guy. I love him.
Yeah, that's how talented Gene Wilder had to be because he had to overcome looking like Gene Wilder.
Yeah, now everyone's
this guy's
thirsty
like
over him.
A heartthrob. There's like a name for this look. It's called like the mouse look or something.
Yeah, like a hot rat or something.
Yeah, hot rat, which is that's what we do.
Hot rat.
That's what we do to hot rats.
And you know who else is a hot rat?
Who's that?
Mickey Mouse on Disney Plus. Today's episode is brought to you by Disney Plus. Hot rat.
Yeah.
So
he's a short zing because while Danny DeVito will make fun of himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he will point out the fact that, hey, I'm a short guy. He played the stripper in Friends where he was the cop.
That's right.
And that was a really funny episode where he completely embraced it. I don't see this guy embracing it.
Too fucking serious.
Too serious.
Too fucking serious.
He's trying to win an Academy Award. He's out there playing wrestlers that lost a leg. He's out there playing the Von Erichs.
Yeah.
You know, where he lost a foot.
Wait, hold on real quick.
Yeah.
You do bring up a point, though. I do want to bring up. Me, as a shorter goblin.
Sure.
When I heard that Jeremy Allen White was cast as the Texas Tornado, a dude who was like 6'2", I kind of was like, there's hope. I was kind of excited. So I got to be honest, I might be changing my mind.
Ooh, just because of what he did
I was like,
in the Von Erich movie.
He can play a wrestler?
Iron Claw,
Yeah, they were like, oh, he's going to be in the wrestling movie. I was like, oh, he's a luchador.
Yeah,
No.
He's the Texas Tornado.
Which I was kind of like, well,
I think that was Kerry Von Erich, who lost a foot and somehow kept wrestling, and people didn't know that he was missing a foot.
That's right. But he was huge. I mean, that dude was like
massive.
Massive dude. So I kind of dug that he could play that. But here's what always bugs me about the Bear.
Okay.
Look at this guy.
Okay.
This guy, we watch him every episode. We watch him living at the restaurant.
Yes.
Stressed out of his mind.
Yes.
Right? He's eating all this like crazy rich food, you know, and stuff like that. When is this chef, Mr. Method Actor Jeremy Allen White, ripping out push-ups and curling 50-pound dumbbells? Huh?
True, because I know.
You ever seen a chef that looks like this?
Never.
No, that's a guy who does not eat any food, let alone his own cuisine.
Yes, I'm gonna name drop right now, and I apologize for that, but I'm friends with a chef named Chris Santos, who's a judge on the show Chopped. He's got many great restaurants, and all this guy Chris Santos cooks and he boxes. That is all he does. He cooks and he boxes, and he doesn't look like that.
That's right. That's right.
So that's my thing. I've never met any chef that is just ripped to shit, unless he's like filling those pots up with water and then doing like kettlebells in the kitchen, which we never see him do.
That's my favorite thing about actors. Anytime that there's a role that they can quote unquote get in shape for, they're like the first to tell you all about it.
Yeah.
Yet then they'll also be in incredible shape just playing like a dad.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, interesting. You use your method acting over here, but over here you're like, nope, just a six-pack.
I'm going to have a six-pack and live in Thousand Oaks.
Yeah.
And it's going to be great.
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay.
Zing. Next.
Short zing. What we got?
Oh boy! I didn't know this was going to happen.
I didn't know this was
going to happen.
I am torn on this one.
I just saw Brad for the first time. I saw a very different Brad just flash through his eyes.
Yes. So, see, all right. So I'm going to put my personal bias aside.
Okay.
Because yes, he may have cost me a role in the live-action Snow White, but here's what I got to say. And yes, he said that we're still going to do the dwarf and Snow White thing, and he kind of thought it would be too offensive to little people, even though he has a starring role in the most offensive movie to dwarves ever made. It's a movie called Tiptoes. If you ever have a chance, Google the movie Tiptoes.
You gotta find that.
Bring up that preview.
Okay.
It looks like an SNL sketch.
Okay.
Anyway, but despite that, the man's been very successful. He's a Golden Globe winner. He's hosted Saturday Night Live. He takes roles that have nothing to do with his dwarfism at all and still excels, and then roles that do and excels in those. So for that reason, and this is how you know I'm unbiased, Short King.
What?
Short King. My liege. Short
I'm
King.
going to applaud you, Brad.
Short King. Listen,
I just
man.
witnessed growth. I just witnessed inner growth.
You witnessed it. Yeah, I like that you specified inner growth because I'm not growing on the outside anymore.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I didn't even mean to. Okay.
No problem. No problem.
I'm with them now. Oh, no.
No, you're fine.
I did what they do.
You're fine. So, but Dinklage is great. He has excelled, and
Oh my God! Hold on, he found the phone.
Oh.
Oh my! Wait! Oh, hold on. Just
Yes.
I gotta take a minute to digest this. Hold on.
yes,
I gotta be honest. The most offensive thing about this is that he looks like Jonathan Davis from Korn.
he looks right now in the movie Tiptoes. Peter Dinklage looks like the white person that goes to Jamaica
Yes,
and then gets their hair
yes.
braided because he's got dreadlocks, braids. I don't know what you want to call them, but he's got
It's like that girl's like, tell me I'm beautiful, and he's about to go, oh, boom, da, ba, do, da, ba, dee, ba, da, ba, ba. She's like, oh, you speak so pretty.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Wow.
He does look like a mini Jonathan Davis.
Hey,
Now,
if you're just listening to this via audio, first
Yeah.
off, what the hell are you doing? It's
Watch
a
on-
Goblin podcast.
watch on YouTube.
Yeah. Go to
You
YouTube.
have a goblin and a
Go to-
dwarf.
yeah,
This
go
is a
to- yeah.
visual medium.
Yeah.
Come on.
100%. Hand to God, guys. You guys got to see this photo of Peter Dinklage. So this movie was called what?
Tiptoes. Now,
Tiptoes.
Tiptoes.
Why was it called that?
It is called Tiptoes because here is the premise of this movie. Now, when you hear, oh, there's a movie called Tiptoes starring Peter Dinklage,
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey,
Oh, really?
Kate Beckinsale,
Oh, my God.
Gary Oldman,
What?
David Allen Greer, Patricia Arquette.
No way. That's this cast?
You're thinking, well, this must be a classic piece of cinema.
Of course.
This must be an Academy Award nominee.
Of course.
Here is the premise of the film.
Okay.
All right. The premise of the film is Matthew McConaughey falls in love with Kate Beckinsale. Wonderful. That sounds like a movie
Checks out.
I would go see.
Absolutely.
A nice little rom-com. Here's the twist. Matthew McConaughey's parents and brother are dwarves. And now she has a little concern about, can I marry into a family that is all dwarves? Now, his brother is played by Gary Oldman. And now you're saying, wait, but Gary Oldman's not a dwarf. You're absolutely right. Guess how they made him appear to be a dwarf? You're probably thinking, well, they used some advanced CGI, right? Some of that crazy Snow White
If
CGI.
you're about to tell me they just put shoes on his knees, I will walk out of the studio.
Well, get to stepping.
no way! Come on, you gotta go! Oh my God!
Get to stepping. Find a photo
Get-
of Gary Oldman in Tiptoes. Yes, he's laughing because he's already looking at it. They put the shoes on the knees. They folded his legs back, and then they actually used string and they tied his arms back so then his arms would be shorter.
Brad.
Get to stepping, Goblin.
Brad, hand to Gob.
Yes.
When you started this story and you mentioned Gary Oldman,
Yeah.
I was gonna make a joke like, oh, what did he play one of the dwarves? Because he's like Mr.
Yeah.
Method Actor.
Yeah.
But comedy must be dead because that is so insane
Yes.
and absurd as a premise.
Yes. Yes.
That is true.
Yes, that is absolutely true. And if you watch the preview, I advise everyone at some point watch the preview. When the narrator comes in, the inner world guy.
It's that old.
Yeah,
Okay.
he says.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
He says in the preview. Yep. He's literally on his knees. He's literally on his knees. Now, normally, Gary Oldman would like to be on his knees in front of Kate Beckinsale for a completely different reason. This is the most offensive movie ever made about little people.
How is this not a bigger controversy? And how have I not heard it?
Real quick, our good friend Paul Scheer, who came on our Christmas episode,
Love Paul.
has this been on How Did This Get Made?
I'll have to listen. I'll have to Google that because I do
If
not
not,
know.
Paul, if you don't have this with Brad Williams as your guest, you are leaving money on the table.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. And when you watch the preview, the voiceover guy says, And in a role of a lifetime,
Get
Gary Oldman. It's the worst movie ever made. I would put this right up there with The Room. I would put this right up there with any of the bad films you could ever think of.
But here's the thing about The Room.
It's called Tiptoes.
This doesn't get The Room treatment because The Room is like a very, very low budget.
Yes.
Like with a dude who like no one knew. He directed it, wrote it, all the thing. This cast all knew what they were signing up for.
There are 3 Academy Award winners in this cast. There's Patricia Arquette.
This photo needs to go in the Museum of Offensive Bullshit.
By the way, I would buy a ticket to that.
Yeah,
one.
I would too. I actually maybe that's our side business.
Yeah, the Museum of Offensive Bullshit.
Yeah.
This photo right next to Aunt Jemima.
That's right. Yes, just side by side. We could spend the rest of the show on this.
I can break this down.
But I don't want to. Who directed this, by the way?
There were 2 directors.
Of course. Why would one person cannot accomplish this feat?
They switched midway through the film.
I hope that first one was just like, you know what? Actually,
this.
I want my name off this.
What I'm seeing here is Matthew Bright.
Not too bright, actually.
Yeah. It's either 2 directors or I believe it's 2 directors.
It's the last thing he ever directed.
Yes.
As it should be, Brad.
The only time Hollywood got something right, where they looked at this film and went, nah, you know what? You don't get to make movies anymore.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's like when you go on Rotten Tomatoes and you find out that Goodfellas is at like 98%.
Right.
And then you find the critic that said no.
Shat on Goodfellas.
Goodfellas is because remember, in order to be rotten, it has to be like mid 70% or like below 70%. So somebody watched Goodfellas and said, no, that's below a 70% movie. That person should not be allowed to critique movies anymore.
I agree.
You're bad. You're bad at your job. So you direct Tiptoes. Sorry, you're done with Hollywood.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Tiptoe your ass out of here, director.
And to give Paul Scheer a little credit, they did do an episode in 2012, I believe it said, about this movie.
Oh, 2012. Well, they gotta do a revamp and have me on.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Did they have a dwarf critique it?
No.
See, you need the perspective of an actual little person.
That's right. All right, who else we got here?
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Man,
what's your vibe on Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart works harder than any other comedian out there. He now just popped up on an ad. I was playing a game on my phone, and then he popped up in the ads in between for a game called Royal Match, which is just it's a popular game, and then he's in that ad. He's doing Capital One commercials. He's selling out stadiums. He's in movies. He has a radio show. He has a production company. He has produced my opening act, JB Ball. He produced his special. So Kevin Hart, short king. Short king.
Short king.
He is out there
Short king.
overcompensating in the best possible way.
I just did a show with JB Ball in Austin.
You did.
What a good guy.
He's a great guy.
What a good guy.
He's my opening act. Funny as hell.
Oh, love that. Love hearing that. And here's the thing. Everyone's always asking me, they're like, John, you're so popular now. You're the #1 comedy podcast in the world.
Clip it.
Clip it. And they're like, what's the secret to success? And they're probably seeing Brad Williams blow up and they're like, what's his secret to success? And, what's the secret to Kevin Hart's success? And it's like, I forget which comedian said it, but it's the answer that no one wants to hear, which is hard work over a long period of time.
It's like whenever anyone loses a bunch of weight, we always look at them and go, you look great. How'd you do it?
Yeah.
We ask because what we're hoping they say is, I took Ozempic, I took a pill, I didn't change my diet.
Harry Potter came down and waved his wand
I
and
didn't
said,
say this, and here's how you could do it too.
LBs, yeah.
That's what we're hoping they say.
Of course.
But they never say it.
Yeah.
They say, well, I started dieting and I started going to the gym twice a week.
Yep.
That's what they do. That's how you lose the weight. And we all know this, but we're hoping there's the cheat. And that's the same thing with becoming a successful comedian, successful in comedy, successful in a lot of things in life. It's hard work over a long period of time.
Yep.
And there's no secret sauce. There's no, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm going to get a huge career boost by being on this podcast.
You're going to get a huge career boost right now.
It's the number one podcast, number one comedy podcast in the world.
course.
So, of course, clip that. And then, but I didn't just start off walking in this front door going, hey, John Goblin, let me on the most popular comedy podcast in the world.
That's right.
I had to establish myself over a 20-year career.
That's right.
To get to the point where I could come on this podcast. So that's how you make it.
And I always
That's
tell
how you
people
make it.
there's only two ways, and it's exactly what you're saying. It's either hard work and dedication over a long period of time,
Right.
or your daddy's a producer.
Yeah.
That's what I always tell people. Next.
We have to have this one because otherwise people are going to complain.
All right, it's the last one.
Oh, this man.
Who are we looking at?
We are looking at Warwick Davis.
Warwick? I can't say that without sounding wasted. Warwick
Davis.
Davis, right there.
If you're my age, if you're about 40 years old, you might know him as Willow.
Okay, yeah.
He was also in Return of the Jedi as the lead Ewok, Wicket. I'm just going through his IMDb page off the top of my head right now. He's in all the he's the Leprechaun in all the Leprechaun horror films. He was in Harry Potter. He was in This is the short King of Kings.
This is the guy.
This is the King of Kings.
Yes.
I as a fellow little person can never say anything bad about this man because he was also in a comedy called Life is Short, which was produced and directed by Ricky Gervais. This guy has done it all. He's done
one with Stephen Merchant.
Yes,
I love that show.
He's done fantasy. He's done comedy. He's done action. Warwick Davis, not just Short King of Kings. He is Dwarf Jesus.
Short.
He is Dwarf Jesus.
Dwarf, hashtag Dwarf Jesus.
Yes, he is Dwarf Jesus. Please do not crucify him on a lowercase t.
Yes.
Do not do that. He's Dwarf Jesus. He must be protected at all costs.
Yeah.
I thought that was Short Jesus, sir.
Oh, you thought this guy?
Mm.
No.
No.
See, all right.
All right, hold on. You see what Johannes just did?
Yeah.
Tried to make it about his people. He tried to make it about his people.
We just celebrated Dwarf Jesus.
Yep.
And then old Tommy C comes in here saying, well, what about me? I'm 5 foot, or 4, 5, whatever he's listed as. To subtract 2 inches from whatever he's listed as. No, because this guy has tried to hide from being a short king his whole life. He has done films with Cameron Diaz, who is about 5'9", 5'10", and somehow they're eye to eye in all the scenes. That's not happening. He's clearly lifting, which if you've seen that episode of Seinfeld, you know that's a faux pas in the dwarf community. So yes.
So what? I heard an old Hollywood story. I want to get your take on this, and then we'll stop this crazy. Get his crazy face out of here. It looks like it was stung by 10 bees. So there's an old Hollywood story that in all these photos, if you ever look at a group photo of Al Pacino, he's on his toes, and it became known in the shorter actor community as the Al Pacino, where it's like when you take a photo, you just get on your toes, give it the old Al Pacino.
What's 2 more inches?
What's your vibe about that?
Man, if I get on my toes, okay, I'm 4'6". Not gonna do much. Right. So I say embrace it, man. Yeah. Embrace it. I like Al Pacino. You're an amazing actor. Tom Cruise, I'll say it. You're an amazing actor. Just be who you are. Like, that shows you how much people think height is important. When the movie I was talking about, where Tom Cruise is on with Cameron Diaz, Cruise is, of course, playing a ultra-manly super spy that just knows how to do everything, has all the skills, can speak 12 languages, can hotwire a car, kung fu fighting, all that. And then yet he still feels... well, that's not charming enough to get a woman. No woman would want a man who's wealthy, speaks 12 languages, has a very particular set of skills. That's not enough to get a woman. I have to be 5'8", 5'9", and then I got to get up on my tiptoes. That's how much he thinks height is valued. Nah, man, it's okay. You can embrace yourself. You could be who you are. You could be whoever God, Goblin, or Xenu created you to be. You can be that person.
He's listed as 5'7" on Google.
5'5".
Johannes, Brad has inspired me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you go on my Yelp dating profile and change it from half of a door frame to slightly under half of a door frame?
You want to go on your Taco Bell review on
Yes.
Yelp and change to
And put it there. Thank you, Johannes. Clip it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that, man.
Before I get you out of here, I want to ask you a few more things about your career that I thought was so interesting. Cirque du Soleil.
Yep.
Is that how you say it?
Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil.
That one.
Cirque du Soleil.
Yep.
You were involved in Cirque. Can you tell people about that? I
Yeah.
don't think a lot of people know that.
Yeah, I'm the first stand-up comedian ever to be hired by Cirque du Soleil.
Oh my God, get out of here,
yeah,
really?
Yeah. And there's a show. It's still going on. I'm not in the show now, but I was there for 3 months. I helped launch the show. It's called Mad Apple. It's at the New York Hotel, and they wanted to try a stand-up comic. Now, to be clear, when I'm in Cirque du Soleil, I'm doing stand-up comedy. I'm not in a leotard being fired out of a cannon going wee wee like that. Like that's not what I'm doing.
For our non-French listeners, that means yes.
Yes. So I was just doing stand-up comedy, but it was a lot of fun because normally, like we said, when I'm doing the theaters, everyone bought a ticket to see me. Everyone's there for stand-up comedy. Everyone knows what they're getting. When you're on stage doing Cirque du Soleil, people went there to see guys in leotards juggle each other with their feet.
Yes.
Like that, they're there for amazing acrobatics.
A bit of an uphill battle as a comedian?
Yeah, because you come out and literally I would come out after two guys juggled each other with their feet.
Yeah.
And then they go, all right, if you thought that was weird, here's a dwarf telling jokes. And, then I run out. Now, the material would have to be a little not as blue, let's say, as my normal act. It had to be a little more family friendly, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. That cast is amazing. They're very talented. But the amazing part when doing Cirque du Soleil is finding out how much people revere people that can talk in public speaking. There's the old Seinfeld joke that people fear death more than public speaking. They'd rather be in the coffin than giving the eulogy. That's the old Seinfeld joke. And it's true because there was one time we were doing a show, Cirque du Soleil, Mad Apple, and the light board malfunctions. Now, it takes about 15 minutes to reboot this thing. So 15 minutes, like, the stage is just dark, and they're like, and I say, what are we doing? The audience is here. What do we do? And the guy's like, well, we just wait. And I go, no, we don't. I'm going out there. So I run out there, and I do about 10, 15 minutes stand-up comedy. I've done hours of comedy. I have the material, no problem. I do it, and then I get the signal that we're ready to go again. Okay, no problem. Audience, you're about to see an amazing show. Are you ready? Everyone cheers. Great. I run off stage. When I get off stage, there's a Russian hand balancer to meet me off stage. This guy goes up about 55 feet in the air and balances on two little wooden blocks and does tricks going back and forth, balancing. And I come off stage and he looks at me and goes, I have no idea how you do what you do. This is a man who, if I tell a joke and it doesn't work, okay, I'll move on to the next joke. If he messes up at his job, dead. So, and he was like, how do you do that? So it was an incredible thing. I loved doing it. I'm glad I have that on the resume. But that wasn't even the hardest thing that I had to do during that time. Hardest thing I had to do was sometimes in Cirque du Soleil, it's live acrobatics. Sometimes stuff goes wrong.
Oh, no. Oh, no, Brad.
So I did two bits of the show, one in the beginning, one near the end. The one near the end, I go on after an act called The Wheel of Death.
Oh, boy.
This is
Oh, boy.
You can probably find a photo of this. This is like a...
No, do not pull it. Johannes, do not pull it. That's a different kind of show.
Yes, but it's it looks like a giant hamster wheel. And this guy runs on the inside, but then he jumps on the outside of it, all while it's spinning around in circles. He's going like 100 feet in the air, and he jumps rope on top of the thing. It's incredible. And this guy, he's the acrobat at the time. His name is Jose, and he was going to do this move where he jumps off the wheel, lands on the ground, and then the wheel comes back around. He grabs it, and then it kind of uses the momentum, flips him back up top of the wheel. And he grabs it.
Oh, no.
The wheel went up. He lost his grip, and it launched Jose in the air, and then he lands on the stage. Now, this has just happened live. 1,200 people in the audience. And he moves. That's good. And people come out. We throw up a sign that says, hey, this is real. And then people come out, get him up, move him off stage. Now, I just saw my friend Jose go splat on the stage. And then I hear, Brad, go. So I go out on stage. The audience is terrified, silent. And I said to the audience, give a hand to Jose, everyone. Give him a hand. He's going to be okay. I'm saying that. I have no idea if Jose is going to be okay.
Sure.
But I say, give a hand to Jose. He's going to be, I got word. He's going to be okay. He's doing all right. Everyone cheers. And I say, wow. Like, you just saw the wheel of death. You just saw Jose on the wheel of death. Wow. It's true. Mexicans really do all the jobs that white people don't want to do. That's why I improv'd.
I bet it tore down the house, though.
It did. It did great. That was the scariest moment. Jose, I went back afterward. He was fine.
Okay.
He is okay. He performed the next night.
What a stud.
Jose's great. But yes, it was... It was quite the job to work at Cirque du Soleil. I would love to go back at some point if we could figure out the scheduling and the salary. But I love that show and love the cast and crew of that show.
Yeah. What a story. That was like that one time I had to go right after Johannes. You know?
Oh,
telling his jokes.
That's worse than
I
following.
I got off stage. I was like, now that's the wheel of death.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
You would have preferred a guy literally die on the stage.
I would have taken anything.
Yes.
Just splat.
Yeah.
Well, right now, Brad Williams, we've reached the end of the podcast.
Oh, man.
But I don't let any guest get out of here without answering my right now rapid fire questionnaire.
Okay.
Here's how it's going to work. I'm going to ask you 5 very quick rapid fire questions. Just say the first thing that comes off your dome. Are
Okay.
you ready, Mr. Brad Williams?
I am ready.
Here we go. Left or right?
Right.
Westmoreland.
Sorry, what?
Favorite genre of metal?
Death.
There's a snail chasing you. The snail is moving at a snail's pace, but it's gonna follow you for the rest of your life. You can go as fast as slow as you want, but the snail will always be moving in your direction. If you touch it or it touches you, you die. And before you ask, yes, it can survive in any atmosphere and swim. What's your plan to survive this snail?
Wow. Go to a desert island and have a wall built around me. Now, it can climb up the wall, but I would think that as it's coming down the wall, that would give me some time to go, oh, snap. Like,
Yeah.
I need to do that.
Would you have what would be your escape plan? Like a boat waiting for you or something?
Yeah.
Because you gotta get off
absolutely.
that island,
Yeah.
Brad.
Jet ski. Totally.
Oh, jet ski.
Jet ski.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So you are an action star.
Let's go.
Yeah. Speaking of Trader Joe's, you ever been there?
Of course.
Okay, thank you so much, Brad Williams, everybody. Round of applause. Round of applause. And now is your opportunity to promote whatever you have coming up to
Love
that
it.
camera right there, Mr. Williams.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. Please follow me on Instagram at Brad Williams Comic. For all my tour dates, go to bradwilliamscomedy.com. The Growth Spurt Tour is the rest of this year. I got dates all the way till New Year's Eve. And then in 2026, it's the Tall Tales Tour. And that is also listed on my website. So you can go get tickets for those. And because I'm a bit of a capitalist, I have a hot sauce. I have my own hot sauce. It's called Death by Dwarf Hot Sauce. Go to my website, bradwilliamscomedy.com. There's a link. You can buy it. You could put a little heat on your food. There you go.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. We got ourselves an entrepreneur.
Trying.
So, Brad, I love that you're promoting your stuff. I really do. But I thought it would be kind of fair and fun if you would kind of promote my stuff.
Absolutely.
So I wrote you a little script. It's under your throne.
Okay.
Yep. Right underneath. There you go. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
And so it's a little script for you. So whenever you're ready, if you want to take some time, whatever.
No. We'll just do this cold.
Yeah, you're an actor, man. You're an actor's actor.
Yes.
Hit it.
All right. Sup, Gobtarage? It's me, Brad Williams. No, I wasn't in the Jackass movie, you fucking assholes. But I was in the 2012 holiday classic, Hercules Saves Christmas. It was more like a cameo. Speaking of cameo, order yourself a cameo from this green short king, John Goblikon.
Yep, got it.
And if you don't want to end up with daddy issues, be a starfish and subscribe to this channel so you'll never miss an episode. People say that podcasts can't change the world, yet after years of battles, goblins and dwarves shall finally unite, and it's gonna happen right now.
Oh, man. So that's how you do a promo, Johannes.
Yeah.
We did it. We bridged a century old gap today.
Dwarves and goblins getting along, teaming up. Now let's go take out those fucking orcs.
Dude, let's go, Brad. I mean, they're honestly, they're all over the street. We just gotta go get them.
Yeah, all right.
Let's get them. Let's get them.
Let's get them.
I love you, Brad.